Another good evening, guys. As you know, we have been on the drive for 60 days of activism for no violence against women and children, looking at the overlooked twist in the GBV issue, which is the ritual killings. And yesterday we looked at women being used for ritual killings in the occultic. Today we look at children. And I must be honest to say that for the first time, I've never been this embarrassed to be an African. I think this is the worst time ever for me to even talk about my culture. And I'd like to be the first to say, not in my name, not in my culture. This is not my culture. And really today we talked to, again, Pastor J. Israel, who's a former pastor who was approached on the internet by the occultic to gain some powers in order to grow his church, and he ended up on the trip to West Africa where he was exposed to this, and today he's going to be exposing the part about the children. So please listen up, because I don't want my videos to be too long, so I'm gonna go straight into the video. Let's go.
Most probably 4 or 5 hours, maybe 5 or 6 hours, somewhere there. It was a very long drive, yeah. It was a very long drive. So what we did, we got to this village. Then upon arrival, there was, there was so many kids around this place. There was too many children playing around. So I said, hey, what's going on here? I asked my friend, I said, what's going on here? And then my friend said to me, the guy who took me there, he said to me, oh, no, Akumbe. He used to call me Akumbe. Akumbe is, Akumbe was our code name for the cows. That's how we used to call each other, whenever we would, talk to each other, like, hey, Akumbe, 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 West African people understand. So when we got to this place, there were so many kids around, there were so many children playing around. So I asked him, I said, what are these kids doing here? Then he said to me, you see, all these kids that you see here, there are people who travel from Nigeria, from Ghana, from South Africa, from Zimbabwe, from Zambia, from Malawi, to come and do money rituals here. So what happens is that upon their arrival here, if their ritual requires blood, if they're supposed to do a blood sacrifice, all these children that you see here, those are the kids that they use for blood sacrifice.
Now, okay, hold on. My God. hold on. You are traveling to the small village. The kids are in the streets, like outside. Is that what you're saying?
You see, like the village is like deep inside, like it's so secluded, in an area where you won't even see people walking past or cars driving by. So around the house, there was like.
Around the house you were going to.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. There was just too many kids loitering around. So, and then I said, so where do they come from? And then he said to me, now all those cases that you hear of children being trafficked in different countries, or maybe children being trafficked, children being stolen in cities and whatnot, all those kids who just go missing, they bring them to this place so that they can be used for sacrifice. Because in most cases, there are people who want to go for money rituals, but they do not have any children and they are not married. So what they do now, they get to that village and they pay for these kids, and they are given, they just buy one, and then they slit the throat, and then smear, then they use the blood for the rituals that they're supposed to use,
Okay, clarity, right? This is probably a question that a lot of people in the comments will probably ask at some point, right? So you are there to do a ritual, right? And you are able to choose a child. Is there a specific age group that the children that were in, or is it just all kinds of kids from all walks of life? There's no a specific age group. And then second question would be, when you do this ritual, does it matter if it's a male or female, or a black child or Indian child or Muslim child? Do those things matter when you choose a child for the kind of ritual?
You see, when you get to those places, there's always a temple priest, like the Baba of that place, that's what they call him, or Babalawu or something, There's always a man in charge of the shrine. So he's the one who determines whether you're going to go for a female sacrifice or you're going to go for a male sacrifice. It's going to get so deep in such a way that I just want to warn a lot of people who are watching right now that, you know, we are living in a world that is so messed up that what I want to say before I even continue is that the physical world that we live in is controlled by the spiritual world. For example, right now, from September, October, right now we're in November and we're getting to December. Already, if you look at the number of accidents that have happened over the past months from September. Now, these 4 months, September, October, November, and December, according to the demonic calendar in the satanic world, they are called the ember months. These are the months where all people from the underworld, the people from the satanic kingdoms, all the occultic people, demonic people, you know, in different kingdoms. Because all these people come from different kingdoms. They don't just come from the same place altogether. There's different cults. There's different brotherhood organizations. There's just different places. So during these 4 months, watch the number of accidents that are going to happen and that have happened already. Watch the number of people that are going to die during these 4 months. Watch the number of people that are going to disappear during these 4 months. These are very critical months in the demonic and satanic world, because this is when most of the rituals are done. This is when most of the sacrifices are done. This is when most of their gatherings in the underworld, wherever, this is when they meet. And this is the most crucial time again for people to be very careful out there, because a lot is happening. A lot is happening. Satanic people are out there. They're all over. I'm telling you, occultic people are in the clubs, they're in the church, they're in the beer halls, they're everywhere. They're just all over the place. And they're looking for blood. They're looking for blood in so many different ways. It's either you'll disappear, or they're going to use your menstrual period blood, the blood you see during those days. That blood, they take it and they use it for sacrifice. It's either they're going to sleep with you. After they sleep with you, they're going to use whatever discharge that you're going to discharge, and they'll take that and use it for sacrifice. At the end of the day, you see yourself getting sick. You see yourself losing everything. If you go to work, you start losing things. Things will just start falling apart. Why? Because there is somebody that you met who was part of the cult, or who is part of the cult, or who is actually in the satanic kingdom, who belongs to the underworld. But because nobody knows, because they will never tell you when you meet them. That is why such conversations are very crucial and very important.
Can you please repeat the months again for somebody who...
So that is it. It's no longer a myth. It's no longer a legend. It's no longer hearsay or a rumor, guys. It is real. I remember already 5 years ago, I would be driving past Randburg, and there would be those posters that would say, join the occultic, join Illuminati, join Freemasonry, make a pact with Satan, become rich overnight, have miracle money. You know, those same posters, like those penis enlargement posters. And in a few months, I started seeing them in Midrand as well. And what shocked me is how this evil practice is becoming normalized, and it's surfacing, and we make a joke about it. You know, we talk about the boys, you know, we talk about, you know, things that people do so lightly, you know, the evil that is happening so lightly, because we're all in this red race. And so I just want to encourage us, and anybody that is considering this, that is involved with this, I want to say, remember that you were also once a child, and had somebody taken you and done this to you, where would your parents be? Where would your family be right now? And if you deserved to live, even that next child deserves to live. I'd say, for the sake of life, please. And that it has been mentioned, guys, that please, the months of September, October, November, December, we must look after ourselves. We must be very, very careful. So I've had friends that have been personally affected by this, you know, and it's a lifetime battle, that have dealt with kidnappings, and they take such a long time to recover, if ever at all. So I would hate to see anybody exposed anybody else to that, it's evil. And Africans, we need our authorities to stand up. We need to speak up the same way we spoke up against SARS brutality. We need to be able to stand up against these children. Just because the SARS, they could stand up for themselves and call for help across the world, we should also do the same for these children. Just because they can't speak up for themselves doesn't mean that their voices are any less important, and because they are smaller people that they are less important. We have to stand up for them and fight for them as well. So guys, when we talk about gender-based violence now and children violence, it's no longer just about abuse, it's about ritual killing. So please be aware, be careful in the months ahead. And of course, thank you again for lending me an ear and your commitment to the topics of this subject line. www.nanomutibi.com is my website. It's fully established now. Check it out. You will also see my other programs, South TV, Nubian Crescent TV, on YouTube, Instagram, Nanomutibi, Twitter, Nanomutibi, Facebook, Nanomutibi, and please stay put and keep in touch. And till next time, see you on Monday. Bye.